Welcome back, everybody. I'm excited today. And you hear me every week being excited about the podcast, but I really am, because this subject today will catapult your career to the next level if you do what we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about today? Making your ideas count. So why this subject? We all are involved in the mining industry or the resource sector, or just in your normal day-to-day career. Doesn't even have to be mining. And you struggle with something at work where you've got an idea. You know how to fix this. And you want to get this idea across to your boss and tell him or her about it. And most of the time, we never actually implement these ideas because of the politics, or just because your boss doesn't like your idea, or you find it difficult to actually just take a leap of faith, an idea, and just try it. So there are various reasons why we don't try out our ideas. However, it's a great opportunity to catapult your career by implementing your ideas. But how do you do it? And so today we are going to be practical about implementing and making your ideas count. All right, so we're going to cover quite a number of things. So it's quite a long list. I'm not going to list them because maybe you get lost in the beginning, but I'll let the secret out. There are 14 key things to do. Going to do a brief introduction and then we'll dig into that immediately. So number one is ideas are for free. Second one, passion, then belief, then testing the idea, then create a plan, then testing your plan, then pitch the plan, then execute with discipline. Then we're going to talk, can you believe it? My phone is bugging me. Apologies for that. Then pitching your plan, executing your plan with discipline, be ready for setbacks, give feedback to your boss, ask for help when things go wrong, persevere with passion, learn from failures, and keep moving forward. All right. Sounds like a mouthful. It is, but it is a great recipe that will catapult you to the next level. All right. So let's start with ideas are for free. That's a very important point to start off with, that you don't need money or you don't need anything to get an idea. Ideas are there and they're for free and they are everywhere. You simply need an open mind. You simply need to be curious about what you do in your specific career or your discipline and what you are executing every day. And if you are curious, if you are passionate, which you are, that's why you're listening to this podcast, you will see opportunities all the time. You will be faced with a problem or you will be faced with an opportunity and you have the idea that will fix it. Right. So they are for free and anybody and everybody can have access to it. And you absolutely should take an idea and move it forward and use that to be a successful person in your career, in business, in whatever you do and approach. All right. Number two, passion. There is nothing that can compare with passion. Passion is the energy force for moving things along. So if you have the idea and you're not passionate about what you want to go about and do, rather not start at all. You have to have the passion and the energy to drive the idea through. If it's just going to be a tick box exercise, if you just want to do this because it's the right thing to do, you know what? You will need to find a reason to be passionate about it. Maybe that passion is caring for people. Maybe that passion can be sparked by a financial reward that sits at the back of it. Maybe that passion can be sparked because your loved ones are involved. But find something to connect the idea to a passion, to an energy source that will move the idea forward. We're moving quickly along to the third one, belief. Belief and having faith in your idea is key to actually implementing it and selling the idea. If you don't believe the idea will work, how the hell do you think you will convince your boss that it will? It's as simple as that. If you don't believe in it, how can you want somebody else to buy into it? You have to believe that it's going to work. In the same way, a great example is Elon Musk, that believed with passion that he could take a rocket that was sent in orbit and bring it back to Earth, and it lands again on a platform. It's not destroyed in the process of sending a shuttle into space. If he didn't believe it, he wouldn't have convinced and convincingly argue and facilitate a process with engineers and designers to actually build the first rocket that can come back to Earth and be reused for a second, a third, a fourth trip. If he didn't believe it, do you think investors would have given SpaceX the money to do it? No, they wouldn't. If you don't believe in your idea, it's going to be a hard task to sell this to your principals or even to your peers if it's a inter-peer idea that will shape you as a colleague group. Okay, that's belief. Right, next one is very interesting, and I learned this, only a while ago, is to test your idea. I wish I knew this earlier. When you have an idea, great ideas come from average ideas. So sometimes you see the opportunity, you see the problem, and you've got an idea to fix it. What's great is if you can use your inner circle of people that you trust and people that will only constructively criticize you, but people that are positive about you as a person and that care deeply about you. And that may be your inner circle of friends, it may even be family members or colleagues that you really trust. To test the idea with them. Discuss it. Explain to them why you think this is a great idea, how this will change the business or change the costs or improve production or improve efficiencies or reduce costs. Whatever this idea will do, test it with other people that you trust and that you have faith in them and they have faith in you, not negative people. You want people that sees the glass half full, but also people that will actually love you enough to tell you it's a bad idea, but here's a better one. They come up with solutions. So when you test your idea with your inner circle, your idea develops and other ideas come from it. And oftentimes, an idea gets escalated to a better idea. So when you've got a lot of ideas, suddenly you get a better idea. So that's a great way of testing and making sure that when you eventually pitch this idea to your boss and asking for money to do something about the problem or use the idea and spend money on creating this opportunity and making the business better, that you have a bunch of people that actually have validated and maybe you have come up with a better idea. So John Maxwell writes in one of his books on the 16 laws of irrefutable communication. He says, ideas are birthed during times of collaboration. So many better and greater ideas are birthed when you discuss it with your inner circle, your colleague and peers that you trust and that love and care for you. Right, we are moving on to number 5, creating a plan. Now that you've got the idea, you have tested it with your inner circle, you've come up with a better idea, a better way of doing it. Start creating the plan. How are you going to do it? How are you going to implement it? What is it going to cost? Who's going to be involved? What do you need? What are the resources you need? Money, material, people, time. So put a plan together that will show you've thought about the start, the process, the finish, how this will all work, what can go wrong, what are the pros, what are the cons. You put that plan together. And again, the next step is test that plan with your inner circle. It is great to collaborate. And, if you think that you have to have all the answers and you must be the Mr. or Mrs. or must solve it all, and it must be you that shines in the process, you are totally mistaken about life in general. I want to put it up front. A lot of people are so selfish that they wouldn't share that idea with anybody else because it's all about them. Now, you know what? It's not sustainable if it's all about you. So put that plan together, test that plan with your team, that same team, or maybe they've added some members that are excited about this idea. Test it with them, and they will constructively give you feedback and tell you what do they think will work well, where are areas of improvement. And now you've got readiness in that plan. Actually, a lot of people have asked questions, and guess what? Those same questions will probably come from your boss as well. And by then, you would have tested it, you would have thought it through, and you have all the answers. Does it make sense? I'm sure it does. Okay, moving on to point number 7. Right now, you pitch the plan. So pitching the plan to your boss. And here you have to be very creative in doing that. So I believe, and I've seen, that people are at their most creative in the mornings. And some people not very early in the morning, before their first cup of coffee. Let them have their first cup of coffee if they struggle to wake up to the day. But get to know your boss really well, but then as soon as you can in the morning when you know he or her is fresh and ready, set up a meeting to pitch the plan. You may even bring some of your peers to come and support you when you pitch the plan. Make that appointment in the morning when your supervisor, your boss or your leader is really fresh and creative. When the day has gone and you've had a busy day and you just want to I just want to take a break. I just want to go home and rest a bit because it was a tough day. It's not a great idea to pitch an idea in the afternoon. Do it in the morning. So rather wait a week, rather wait 2 weeks to pitch an idea so that you can find the time that will sell the idea the best. You know that in sales, 90% of the sales are made in the morning before 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 12 at noon. So why don't you just use the statistics that are in your favor and make sure you do it in the morning when people are fresh and when they are quite creative. They will not necessarily shoot you down as quickly as they would in the afternoon. Also, if your supervisor has got an assistant or a technical assistant or a PA or a secretary, make sure that there's enough time in the diary that you don't, if it's going to take 15 minutes to pitch the idea, and I don't think you'll be able to do it in 15 minutes, make sure that you can pitch the idea within half the time than what you require so that there's enough time for questions. Okay, makes sense. So let's say you've practiced this, it takes you 15 minutes to pitch the idea. Then the meeting needs to be at least half an hour. If it's going to take you half an hour, which it shouldn't take you that long, 20 minutes tops, then allow an hour. so that enough questions can be asked that you can carefully answer those questions and give comfort that you've thought this through. Okay. All right. Now, you've pitched the plan. It worked out very well. Your boss is super impressed with you. And now it's time to execute. Now, you have got this plan. You've tested the plan. This plan, how are you going to execute it from A to Z? You now need to go and execute. And that requires discipline. So, ideas are only proven during times of action. You now need to execute. And this, remember, we started off saying, you must have the passion and the belief to do it. So make sure you now drive it through with your passion and your belief, your faith in what you wanted to do. Right, we're moving on to be ready for some setbacks. Your plan should have included a plan B, C, and D. What if something goes wrong? And sometimes you cannot prepare for everything. So there will be stuff that's going to go wrong in the execution. And you need to be prepared for that. It's not the end of the world. Get your team together, your inner circle that worked with you on this. Get some of their feedback. Get them to help you solve it. You don't have to solve it all by yourself. There will be setbacks. But just deal with it. Go, the blows will come. Just get up and keep going. Keep going at this, because that teaches you resilience, and it teaches you that the life of a business owner and a successful entrepreneur, or the life of a successful corporate executive, is going to come with some setbacks. And it's how you pick yourself up after each one of those that you become better at what you're doing and you become successful. All right, now the idea is being executed. What's the next step? Give some feedback. Give progress reports to your boss, how it's going. Even the bad and the ugly as well. Let them know that, things are not, this is went wrong. This is what we did about it. It's looking better. It's coming along. Make sure you give regular feedback, how it's going. So maybe you were given $1 million, or you were given $20,000 to get this idea implemented. Give feedback, because you've taken their trust and sometimes money to do this, to implement it. So make sure you give feedback. Schedule time in their diaries so that you do a 5-slide presentation. Keep it simple. They are busy, but give them feedback how things are going, because they've trusted you to actually go and execute this. Okay, when things go wrong, it's the next one. Ask for help. Things will go wrong. You're naive to think it's not going to go wrong. Things will go wrong. So ask for help. Ask your inner circle. Ask your boss. Say, now, by this time, he or her would have known about how it's going, and sometimes it's going well. And then if it's not going so well, they will, at this stage, would have gotten enough trust that they are willing to help you and guide you along the way. And keep an open mind, keep an open mind to reach out to people that can help. But just stick to it. You will get it resolved. The next one, we're moving towards the end, is persevere with passion. Remember when I spoke about passion, you have to be passionate about it. Find your source, why, your why, what can you link it to that will drive it. Make sure you just persevere. It's no use giving up. Persevere. Learn from your failures is the next point. You will learn. You know what? It's such a great opportunity to put that in your experience box, because the next problem you're going to solve, the next opportunity you're going to go after, this one that you're going through now, the learnings that you're going through now will set you up for the next one to become better at it. If you look at successful entrepreneurs, successful business owners, successful career people, they've had a few challenges in their lives, which they've stuck through. They've resolved it. They've found ways to do it and get it done. They've learned through it. And the next time something similar happens, they've run the gauntlet. They've earned their stripes. They know how to fix it. And they now are much better enabled to actually deal with it. So learn from those failures. It's a great opportunity. Okay, then finally is the last one. Keep moving forward. You have to reflect on what's going wrong, what's going right. Sometimes it's worth your while to just sit once a week, once in 2 weeks, just reflect, just journal, write in a book, type on your computer, on your smartphone, just reflect on what's been going well, why is it going well, what have you learned, what didn't go so well. Reflect, but keep moving forward. And you will find that this will fundamentally shift your career, fundamentally shift you as a person. And the next time you will see that you will continue to see opportunities. You will be getting better at pitching better ideas. You'll be able to ask for more money the next time, do a bigger project. And people will notice. People in the business, people in the organization will notice the effort. They will notice what you are doing. They will notice that you are thinking out of the box. It will only be a matter of time when you get that promotion or you get that opportunity that you were looking for. All right. Wow, that was quick. I thought it was going to be a long session. It wasn't that long. We did it within 25 minutes. All right, so that gives you a bit more time to find something else while you're in traffic or while you're on the treadmill or while you're playing golf. Well, maybe not golf. Anyway, so let's recap on today. All right, so we spoke about ideas are for free. Keep an open mind. You will see them. You need passion. You need to believe in your idea. You need to test your idea. You need to create a plan. You need to test that plan with your inner circle. Then you're going to pitch the plan to your supervisor, your leader, or your boss. You're going to execute with discipline. You're going to be ready for setbacks. You're going to give feedback. You will ask for help. You will persevere with passion. You will learn from your failures and you will keep moving forward. If this means something to you today, if it helps you and you can help somebody else, why don't you pay it forward, share it with them, share your learnings, share the podcast with them. Let's keep adding value to others, and let's make our lives, the people around us, a better place. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your mining. Cheers.